Hello, I'm Karen, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how to make these cute little bows. Obviously, bows are decorations for all sorts of different little things. I personally like to use the tail ends of these to tie around the bobble in my hair. You can decorate your Christmas tree or whatever, little hats, all sorts of different things. And when I get part of the way through the pattern, I will also share with you another little idea that I had that you can make with the same pattern, okay? So we're going to be using a 4mm crochet hook. I'm going to be using a white sparkle baby yarn, which is this one's actually from B&M, and it's actually suitable for the 4mm crochet hook. So let's get on with it. Right, now, because of having these little tail ends on it, what you need to do is you need to measure out a tail end of your yarn first. So we want it to be 4 of your hooks long. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the minimum amount that you need, okay? If you want to do it a little bit longer, that's entirely up to you. And I'm also going to be starting in my new way of starting, which is where I put my hook underneath and twist all the way around anti-clockwise, just so that I'm latched onto my hook. Okay, and we're going to begin with a chain of 3. That's 1, 2, 3. We're going to skip the first chain, and then underneath one strand we're going to work a single crochet if you're in the US, and or a double crochet if you're in the UK. So we're going to work 1 single crochet and 2. Okay, now we chain 1, turn, and we're working 1 single crochet in each of our stitches again. So that's 1 and 2. At this point, if you pull your tail end up, you'll end up with a tiny square. And from now on, we're going to do some rows of increases. So you chain 1, turn, and into the first stitch we're going to work 2 single crochet. So that's 1, 2, and 1 single crochet in the remaining stitch. So we've got a total of 3 stitches, like that. Now we're going to chain 1, turn, work 2 single crochet in the first stitch. That's 1, 2, sorry, I'm just going to pull some yarn, and then we work 1 stitch in each of the other stitches. So that's 2, 3, underneath the 2 strands at the end makes 4. Chain 1, turn, work 2 single crochet in the first stitch. That's 1, 2, and then 1 in the rest of the stitches. So that's 3, 4, sorry, and 5. Chain 1, turn, work 2 single crochet in the first stitch. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, and making sure we go under the 2 strands at the end to make our 6. Now we need to work 2 rows of just single crochet on the next 2 rows. So we chain 1 and we just work single crochet all the way across. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 2 at the end, 6, chain 1, turn, and work our single crochet all the way across, or double crochet if you're in the UK. That's 2 stitches, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now from this next point, what we're going to do now is we're going to do the decreasing. So we're going to be reducing. So So chain 1, turn, and you go into your yarn, into your work, sorry, pick up your yarn, pull through, into the next one, pick up your yarn, pull through. So you've got 3 strands on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. So now we've worked 2 stitches together. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 1, turn. We're doing the same again. We're doing a reduction. So we work 2 single. We've got to do 2 single crochet together, which is, so we've got our 2 stitches there, and we'll come through to create the 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Chain 1, turn, work 2 together. So that's 1, sorry about that, 2 and 3, chain 1, turn, work 2 together. So that's 1 and 2. And now, because we began with 2 rows with 2, we want to just make 1 more row where we're just single crocheting each stitch. So that's 1 and 2. Now we're actually classed as being halfway there in this pattern, and at this moment in time you're going to say, well, it doesn't look very pretty, but that's okay, don't worry about this right now. When you do the edging, that's where it tidies it up and makes it look nice. So now we're going to do the same again. So we need to do 2 rows of just single crochet. So that's 1, 2 stitches, chain 1. This is our second row of 2 stitches, 1, and under those 2 strands at the end, that's 2. And now we're going to do the increases again. So we need to work 2 stitches into the first stitch. That's 1, 2, and the next one makes it so we have a total of 3 stitches. Chain 1, turn, work 2 stitches into the first stitch. So that's 2 single crochet into there. And the next one makes 3, and the last one we've got 4. Chain 1, turn, work 2 single crochet in the first stitch, and then 1 in each of the rest, so that we have 3, 4, and under those 2 strands there, 5. Chain 1, turn, work 2 stitches into the first stitch. That's 1, 2. I'm just going to pull some more yarn. So we've got our 2 stitches. So this one is 3, 4, 5, and making sure we come underneath those 2 strands there, 6. And now we need to do 2 rows of just single crochet. So that's chain 1, turn, and work all the way across just in a plain single crochet, or say if you're in the UK it's double crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Chain 1, turn, and we'll repeat that row. So that's 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm just going to pull some more yarn out. And now, I'm sorry, sorry about that. Okay, now we're going to do a reduction again. So that's chain 1, turn, and go into 1 stitch, pick up your yarn, into the second stitch, pick up my yarn, and then yarn over, pull through 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, chain 1, turn, work 2 together, that's 1, 2, 3 and 4, chain 1, turn, work 2 together, that's 1, 2 and 3, chain 1, turn, work 2 single crochet together, that's 1 and 2, chain 1, and we're just doing a plain row of single crochet on this one, so that's 1 and 2. Okay, so now you've got the basics of your bow, and this is where I'm going to for me to produce the bow that we're producing here, we're going to slip stitch around the edge. This is where you can actually change the pattern slightly, and I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. So now what we're going to do is in the stitch where you've just worked your very last single crochet, you want to do a slip stitch into there, and then on the end of every row we're just going to slip stitch all the way round the outside of our bow, and this just gives you the neater edge so that when it's all folded into place it looks a lot nicer. And this is where I said I was going to explain that you can actually alter this pattern, and you can make yourself a slightly bigger bow by working a single crochet around the edges. And I'll also share with you what else we can make out of this same bow. And also I'm going to tell you a little story about a bow, because the word bow itself is spelled B-O-W, and so obviously this is a bow, and to tie a shoelace into a bow, that's another sort of bow. You can have a bow where you've got a bow and arrow, and you can also have the bow which is you know, when you're playing a violin or a cello or some instrument like that, where you've actually got it's a piece of wood that's got horsehair to be able to rub across the wires to, well, I say wires, I don't think there really are wires inside a violin like that, but you know what I mean. And then there's the other way of, like, because even though it's, well, I'm just getting to the end, so I'll just show you here where this is the very beginning where you did this little chain. You don't need to work into that chain, you're just going to ignore it and go over the top. So you're just going to, so you've gone into your end stitch there, and we're just going to go into the next one there, because you won't see this part of your bow anyway when you fasten it up and it's all sewn into place. So we just go around there, and once you've pulled in your tail end, it makes it nice and neat. But yes, as I was saying, you can all, the word bow, B-O-W, can also be pronounced bow, and if it's, when it's pronounced bow, it is the front of a ship, and it is also it's like where you bend your head and bend your back forward at the same time, so that you, like you would in front of royalty, or out of a sign of respect, maybe at a funeral or something like that. So it's interesting just to say that for the word bow and scene, B-O-W, it has all these different meanings. So I just thought I'd randomly share a bit of information about the bow for those people that are from other countries and that don't understand that in English it's unusual, because obviously we have the same looking word, but it has all of those different meanings. So I just thought I wanted to share that. And here we are, we're nearly at the end. And when we get to the very end here, This is where we did our single crochet before, so I'm going to slip stitch into there, and then just to make sure that it's a similar size to the other end, we're going to slip stitch into the end too, single crochet there. Now what we're going to do is we need to keep our tail end the same length as the other end, so I'm just going to pull out my hook just a little bit, and then I'm going to measure 4 more of the length of my hooks. That's 1, 2, 3 and 4. And we're going to cut that off, and once we've done that, then remember, pull your tail end all the way through otherwise your work will come undone. Now you need a wide-eyed darning needle, and you thread your needle. This is so quick and easy and so lovely to make. It's just, you know, like if you want to just do something nice for a quick and easy gift. Okay, so now you've got your end there, and if you look at your bow, you can see this is the middle of your bow, and you can see we've got like quite a big hole there and a big hole there. And it's this hole here, you want to thread your needle, push your needle through there, and as you pull that through, this will fold over the end of your bow. And then you want to go through, there is actually a little hole the other side, you can't see it very well because of your slip stitching, but you want to go into there, you don't want to go in between your slip stitching because it will make it look messy. Then come through, and then at the very end you just want to come through 2 strands of your yarn. I don't know if you can see that properly. Come through there and then pull that without getting your other end tangled up in it. Pull that through, and then we want to just make sure we're going through there one more time. Come back through the same hole. You make sure you don't come into the ends, you know, whether you've slip stitched or you've single crocheted around. You want to come through into the middle bit so it keeps your stitches hidden and out of the way, and then back through the other side. And then once that's pulled through there, you need to remove your needle off the end. Okay, and then we're going to work on the opposite side and thread the needle like so. And do exactly the same. So now we've turned it over, you can see we've got the little hole at the top. You want to put your needle through the hole, pull it through, and it bends over your end. Can we see this all right with this white yarn? I may have to redo this video, we'll see. And then come through the opposite side and come through your work here. Doesn't matter if you're not quite through on the end there. And then back through again, making sure you go through the same little hole and pull that through there, and then back through to the back again. So that's done there. And remove your needle. Now I'm going to pick up my hook again, and as you can see, we'll end up with 1 strand coming to one side and 1 strand going to the opposite side. So what you're going to do is you're going to come through the end of your work, pick up the piece of your tail end of your yarn, pull that through, and now we need to do a chain of 20. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and with the 20th one, want to pull the tail end through. And now do the same for the opposite side. You want to put your hook through a couple of strands at the end, pick up your yarn, pull it through, and make a chain of 20. Oh, I think I've only gone through 1 strand. Let me do that again. Oh no, it is 2. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. This is the 20th one, and pull the tail end all the way through. So now you'll end up with your little bow and you've got 2 strands coming out each side. Okay, so what you want to do is turn it over, and now when you wrap it over you're going to see the back of your chain. Okay, so you do that, turn it back over, tie yourself a nice little knot there, and then put your finger on the actual knot, just thereabouts, and just pull it so the knot actually comes down to one end, just to make your tail ends sit nicely. And then we're going to get scissors, cut off those little bits so they look like shoelace ends, and then you just give it a little puff, and there you go. Actually, I want to tidy up my knot a little bit better, and there you go, quick and easy little bow. Now I will share with you, where is it? I've got to find the correct one, there it is. If you work a single crochet all the way around the edge, you can see the difference. And this is made in exactly the same yarn, but you can see it is slightly bigger. So, I mean, obviously once you puff it up to give it its little curves, the tail ends are still the same length, but it just gives you, maybe it looks a little bit neater that way around, but it gives you a little bit of a bigger bow, so the choice is yours. And now I'm going to show you first my mistake. Right, so this is Lavender. She is my little crochet doll that I've been making. And I did make, if I turn her over, I did make her some wings that I wanted to make them sort of lacy, like a little leaf. But unfortunately, as you can see, over time, these are curling up, and so she didn't get the very nice effect of her wings. And also, as you can see, I'm not very good at doing faces, so my daughter seems to think that these are quite ugly. But I did have an improvement. So this is Serendipity, and as you can see, she's got a bit of a wobbly head because her neck wasn't quite so well. But I've made the same bow. If you look here, this is a mistake. This is a deliberate mistake in it because she belongs in my story. She had a broken wing. But this here is just one of, you know, like if I folded over it, it would be a bow. But and I've done the single crochet round, and what I've done is I've just folded it in half and sewn it to one side, and then this is a second bow on the other side. Okay, so that's Serendipity. Oops, making all her hair a mess. And then this one is Damsel. I can't show you, well actually kind of, if you sit her up, you can see her wings sit and sort of wrap around like a little cloak. But then when you actually open them up, you can see what I've done here is I did this single crochet all the way around the edge, and then I added another row all the way around with this silver sparkle, because this is part of the story, and that's where she gets the little silver streaks in her hair, because Serendipity is Damsel's mum, okay, and Lavender is the time travelling fairy, and Damsel wanted to be able to fix her mum's broken wing, that's what this patch is here. Okay, so I just thought I'd give you a little insight. I have improved the faces slightly, and I know I'm not very good at doing the embroidery on the faces, which is why I haven't actually shared doing the little dolls. But if you are a doll maker and you did want to make them into fairies, I just thought that these lovely little bows, they just make really, really nice wings. So there you go. I just thought I'd just share my things with you. So thank you for watching, thank you for liking, thank you for sharing, thank you for thank you for subscribing. Bye for now.